opening statements. And we'll start with Andy Cargill.
Okay, real quick, been married 50 years. I've lived in the area 35 years, been in education 37. I got 5 grandkids, 2 daughters. Now I want to tell a story because you know I'm a storyteller. At Trinity, I can talk about Trinity all day long, but this is a special story. In our 05 state football game, we won the state championship, and we got home and we found out one of our players who lived in an apartment across the street had had their electricity turned off. He was living with his girlfriend and her baby, and so the milk was getting spoiled. And so we collected money that morning to go pay the rent for that kid so he could make it. He worked at Albertsons, but he didn't realize we were going to go to the state championship, so he didn't have enough money saved up. So our social worker got with me, and we started what's called the Angel Fund. Our head football coach, Steve Lineweaver, put the first $1,000 in that Angel Fund, and we started from there on. My second year on the board, another parent came to me and said, you need to go to Classic Chevrolet and talk to them about their charity giving. So I got my social worker from Trinity, we went up and talked to Classic. And in the last 7 years, they have given $400,000 for us at Trinity to help disadvantaged kids or low socioeconomic. Well, what you don't understand, you're not going to talk about football, basketball, but what you don't understand, the most diverse high school in the state of Texas, number 8 in the nation, less than 1% dropout rate. We had kids living in cars. They go to Walmart to do their homework. We find places, we buy formula, we buy diapers. And the reason I ran and the reason I am still running is because I want to ensure that everyone in the district has that opportunity to graduate and have the same success that I achieved at Trinity, to have a better life. So the reason I'm running is just kids. It's all about the kids. And I know I get in trouble sometimes because it's about budget and other things, but it's really about kids graduating and getting across the state. And I used to tell parents, I'm making them taxpayers.
And for the HEB ISD Board of Trustees, place 6, opening statement, Christy Hanhart.
Hello, my name is Christy Hanhart, and I'm a small business owner in Hurst-Euless, and the reason why I decided to run is, yes, I have 2 kids. They're both teenagers. One's at Trinity and one's at Central. But back to what Mr. Cargill said, the economic diversity of our students, that's what's important to me. We are renters, and where we live at is a lot of those kids that he spoke about that, you know, struggle day to day, and that's where my biggest concern is helping them. Growing up, I was one of those kids. People told me I wasn't going to go to college. You're not going to do anything. You might as well just have babies and stay home and do that. I graduated a year early from high school. Took me 10 years, but I got my bachelor's degree from UTA for interdisciplinary studies. Started my own business, and that's what, I can take care of my family, whereas I was told I wasn't able to. So I want to be that voice for those kids.
Very much. Okay, and now to go on to the questions. We'd like to start the first question with Christy. First question is, what are you doing to prepare to be on the school board before you were elected? Well, I thought we were doing questions first. Oh, okay.
I thought he was speaking.
Okay, so sorry. Okay, so we're still doing place 6.
Okay.
And we're going to start with Christy. And the question was, what are you doing to prepare to be on the school board before you were elected?
I've been to just numerous school board meetings, and also just talking to people. I've been down to Austin 3 times this legislative session, just trying to find out the things that are important and what bills are trying to be passed that will, affect school budget and just school finance and all that stuff that goes into that.
Okay, very good. All right, and the same question for Andy Cargill.
Besides my 10,000 parent conferences. What has prepared me is I ran a school which had a budget. I'm the only educator on the board. I'm the one that understands what the teacher goes through. I understand what the administration goes through. I understand what all the students go through. And parents from IB to special ed, I understand what they go through on a daily basis. So I represent those people on the board, And that's what I bring to the board, is that knowledge of what it gets, and what it helps to get those kids through that school.
Very good. Okay. And we're going to go to the second question now, and Andy, we're going to start with you for the second question. The second question is, what would you say is the greatest strength you would bring to the HEB ISD as a board of trustees?
Well, I just explained I'm the only educator. We did have Ellen, and she left. But it's the knowledge of what's happening on a daily basis. I think, board members, we're at the top and we see what's the icing. And really it's about the cake and making the cake and the recipe. And I bring that knowledge of what the recipe really is to get across that stage. And, it's people don't understand, there's different levels with every kid. Every kid's at a different level, but every kid deserves to get there. So I think I have the knowledge to do that in the entire senior.
Still have 30 seconds. 20.
The rate is stopped at 30. Yellow is at 30 seconds. Okay, all right. And Christy, same question. What would you say is the greatest strength you would bring to the HEB ISD board as a trustee?
I think just like I said, the economic diversity and being a parent, knowing things that I hear, whether it's from parents or other students. I'm involved with lots of things within the community. So I hear those things from people, these are my concerns, what's going on with this or what's going on with that. Just the being available throughout the community and being able to take that back.
Thank you very much. Okay, at this time, we're going to go on to candidates for the HEB ISD board for place 7 for opening statements, and we'll start with Fred Campos.
Good afternoon, folks. Thank you so much for taking some time out and coming here today. Seriously, Mary Frazier, next month will be 10 years I've been a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for that. For those of you that don't know, I was born at an early age. I grew up in Grapevine, Texas in public schools. I married a 3rd grade elementary school teacher who was teaching in Grapevine, Colorado, but we got her over here to Bedford. She's been here the whole time. She does long-term subs in our wonderful district, HEB ISD. I have 3 wonderful kids, and God's got a sense of humor because they're all different. My daughter, thank God, is in college. She suffered from dyslexia. She went through the IB program, graduated from Bell. She's doing great up in college. I have a Sheldon Cooper son who is gifted and talented. He's over at Keys in 11th grade. He thinks he's going to graduate this May. We've talked him into staying, so we don't want you 15-year-old entering college yet. And lo and behold, my youngest son is 9 years old, and he's probably going to apply for Trinity. So you're talking to a parent, okay, do the math, think this through, who has, been involved in like 8 PTAs all at the same time, right? A parent that's had both a high schooler, a middle schooler, and elementary schooler all at the same time. So we're talking about connected in the city, very involved parents. So I just wanted to give you a little snapshot of who I am. I've kind of been homegrown into this. You start out changing the sign over at Meadow Creek, and a couple years later you're reading to the kids. And before long, you're in Leadership Academy and Board Ambassador Program, and they're talking to you about becoming a school board trustee. I am up for re-election. School board is different than other races. It's a team effort. It's homegrown. We need to continue to have people like Andy Cargile with lots of experience and work together as a team. My name is Fred Campos. I'll tell you more about me in the questions, but I need your vote for re-election. Thank you.
And for opening statements for place 7, Aisha Oja.
Sorry. No, you're good. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today. There we go. Okay. Thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Aisha Oja, and I'm running for HEB ISD Place 7. I am a social worker, a teacher, a community leader, and an advocate. I have 60 plus HEB ISD kids in my dance school alone, so I'm in daily interaction with those kids. For me, school board is about students, about their outcomes, where are they in their lives. For me, school board should not end in just high school. We should see past that. A lot of my friends who were in regular classes struggled in college because the education they were receiving in regular classes versus college was very different. So I am here for those kids. I'm here for those 52% economically disadvantaged kids. I want to introduce new programs HEB ISD, or diversity programs. I am for maternal leave. We already are so good with paying our teachers well, but what other services can we provide to them? So other teachers, like that's why, can come to our district and enjoy. And for me, if they are not able to take care of their kids, it's hard for me to think that how are they going to take care of our kids? So we need to keep our students first, our teachers always, and our staff members. And I'm so proud of all the board members because I went to a couple of meetings, and it's about 4 hours meeting. And then I am so proud and thankful for all of you guys. And I am here to encourage the youth to participate in local elections. I think we need to get involved. I pay so much in taxes. We need to know where those taxes are going. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to move on to the questions. The first question is going to go to Aisha. What are you doing to prepare to be on the school board before you are elected?
So I actually decided to run a week before the filing date because I noticed that a lot of people my age are not even participating in elections. I do have experience working with different active students. I volunteered for over a year. I work with special ed students, led discussions in those classrooms. And I mentioned before, I have 60 plus HEB ISD kids in my dance school, so I am constantly talking to them, especially now that I'm running. I'm asking them about the school. I'm asking how are their teachers, how are they liking it, what can we do so that they can have a better day at school, so they can have a better life. Hopefully, when they graduate, go to college, or even if they don't want to go to college, we have different kind of certification programs going on. So what can we do to make them successful so they can live their American dream? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, and for Kendall, it's the same question. What are you doing to prepare to be on the school board before we're elected?
Okay, first question. So let's answer this two ways. Let's go all the way back to 2015. This district does something that's amazing. Matter of fact, it's so amazing we won a Magna Award for it. The school, not me, the trustees ahead of time looked at each other and said, you know what? We're all white. We don't represent the diversity of this. We need to train up future leaders. We need to come up with a way to train up future school board leaders. So at the time, they actually thought, and they looked at the elementary principals, and they wanted parents that were involved with 2.5 kids in the district. I don't know what 2.5. But anyway, they created a leadership academy. So before I was elected, I was one of the people. And we just graduated our 9th academy with 25 people. Since then, 121 board meetings, 10 conferences, trip to China, involved in PTAs at 8 levels, lots of experience. So please continue to realize that.
Thank you. And the second question, we'll start with for examples on this one. What would you say is the greatest strength you would bring to the HEB ISD board as a trustee?
I started out as a single parent. I started out as a non-custodial parent. I started out as a custodial parent. I started out as a divorced couple coming to the board. I will be the first trustee that will have a graduate of all 3 high schools. By the time my youngest graduates, I will have been on 8 campuses. What I bring is the pulse of the parent to the district. We each have board members. We get to split up our volunteer time, and I volunteer on the PTA President's Council. So I'm there with all 28 of the other PTAs. When you talk about the first issue that came up, the first month I was on the board, I got 115 phone calls from parents one weekend. Okay, I've never beaten that before. But you talk about somebody that has the pulse. So that's what I bring. That's my unique gifting to this board.
Thank you. And the same question for Aisha. What would you say is the greatest strength you would bring to the HEB ISD board as a trustee?
As a trustee, what I can bring to the board is my experience. I started out as an ESL student in 8th grade, so I went from my ABCs to graduating high school at 16 and finishing college in 5 years, my bachelor's and my master's. So I have a lot of passion, and when I'm dedicated to something, I am fully 100% dedicated to it. I want to introduce new programs so the immigrant families moving into the HEB ISD can know about the American education system, because I was lost when I first started. I did not know about SATs, I didn't know about honor classes, I didn't know about anything. So I want to introduce new programs. As my background in social work, mental health, I want to be able to provide more services for at-risk students, not just after school, but during the school times, because they're already struggling so much with right problems and enough stuff at their home. I want to expand on more state funding for our schools, less taxes for our residents, because the pressure needs to be off of our taxpayers. Thank you.
So let's go ahead, we'd like to do closing statements, on place 7, so we'll start, Fred, with you.
First and foremost, Aisha, thank you for running. And you're an inspiration to my daughter, who's just 2 years older than you. So I feel you. Second thing is, there isn't a single issue that you want or desire that isn't in my heart too, as well as this board. Just state funding is so complicated, some things can't work out as easily as you think at this point. But please stay at it, it's awesome. For you guys, it's so important to have continuity. It's so important to have continuity. We've only had 6 superintendents in 60 years. 7 in 60 years. Okay, we've had the lowest turnover. In fact, this is fairly unprecedented. I asked Andy, I asked Ellen this morning, we can't even remember a contested race against a city board member. All I'm asking you to do, citizens, think about the continuity so we can focus on the kids. I think these are great candidates, and I think they will be great leaders in the future. So please, for now, give me your vote. Thank you.
Same for place 7, closing statements for Aisha.
People of my age don't vote, I know that. And I'm here to encourage more local participants, people of my age, to go out and vote because we are the future. I just bought a house in Hurst-Euless, and I'm staying here. I'm here for good. I'm here. I'm going to raise my kids. I don't have my kids right now, but I do have 60+ kids that I consider my kids. And every time their successes are my successes. We have 23,000+ students, and I am here for them. I want to introduce programs so they can have a better life. They can live American dream. They can have the opportunities that I had. I want them to have counselors that have time for them, that can provide them the services that they need. And I do request whoever it is that you vote for, please go out and vote and encourage your grandsons, daughters, whoever that is, to please go out and vote, because I never realized how low the turnout is for voting, and we need to step it up. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And now for the closing statements for place 6, HEB ISD board. Amy, we'll start with you.
Okay, there's 1,200 schools, districts in the state of Texas. Only 200 of those school districts got an A. HEB got an A. All 5 of our junior highs received an A. Bell had an 88, Trinity had an 89, close to an A. But what you don't realize is our success so far in our district, the new tech center, opportunities for kids that don't want to go to college that make twice as much as a teacher. The success of we're building 2 elementaries without going to the taxpayers that will save you $80 to $100 million. We didn't ask you to pay for that. We saved up to build. So I've been through a lot of success in schools of choice. We're starting a drama school of choice at 2 junior highs. So we've done a lot in my 11 years, and I'm proud to be a part of that, and I'll honestly continue that. So thank you for your vote.
Okay, closing statements for place 6, Kristen.
Again, like everybody else has already said, voting is very, very important. I make sure that I take my kids with me to vote so they see the process, which I know a lot of other people do. Make sure that, your neighbors are going out and voting, whether it's for me or whether it's for somebody else. Voting is very, very important, and everybody should make sure they do it. So, thank you.
All right, this really concludes it. Unfortunately, they took my line. My line is going to be not only thanks for coming, but go out and vote. If you can't vote early, go vote on May 4th. Make the vote. Thanks very much.